Hi guys, and welcome to day one, part 2 of our coverage at Drawn Art and Design Fair at the Museum and Art Gallery in Shrewsbury. I spent such an amazing amount of time wandering around, speaking to the artists at the event, that I managed to accumulate nearly an hour and 45 minutes of footage, of content. And so I had to split this up into 2 parts. Hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be a bit more digestible than an hour and 45 minute long podcast. Hope you enjoy this. Please give this episode a like, drop us a review, maybe give us a subscribe as well. And all the artists mentioned in this podcast, give them a follow too on social media. It really does help when you drop them a follow on Instagram or a like on Facebook. Also as well, it gives you access to their great content and the things that they make. And this is what this event is designed to do. It's designed to help local independent artists. Well, I'm going to leave you with what is next to pass. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll catch you at the end. Peace out. Hello, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Gisela Robinson. I'm an illustrator, an editor illustrator. I'm very happy to be part here of Drawn in Winter.
Amazing. Are you local here? Are you living in Shrewsbury?
I live in Shrewsbury.
Yes.
My husband is from Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
I'm from Argentina. And we have been traveling around, and we always knew we wanted to come back here and stay here. And we came 2 years ago. And the pandemic wasn't in the right moment, but we absolutely adore it here. Now that things are starting to come back to normal, it's great to be interacting with people, yeah.
It's good to meet you. My wife is from Colombia, so
oh, really?
Yeah, there's
I need to meet her.
Yes, I'll get you details, because genuinely it's really nice to have a community of people you can speak to in their your native tongue.
Absolutely.
And how have you found it here? Have you got as locals, people that
No Spanish, but yes, I have met a lot of people from different places, from other countries, and I think it's fantastic being in a town and having all these cosmopolitan people who are really enjoying living here in Shrewsbury.
I've chatted to so many people today, and the thing that keeps coming up is how brilliant with art Shrewsbury is. It seems to be seeping in the walls, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was amazed of finding such a nice artist community because it's very, retro-alimentative. It's just you feel yourself of this kind of art, and you see it all around. And not only what you see, but people appreciate it, and it's fantastic.
Well, it's so nice to see a lot of young people as well walking around and enjoying what they're seeing. And
yes, all ages.
It's amazing.
It's great.
So talk me through your art then. When does this all begin for you? Illustration, is this from a young age where you're like, I need to be an artist? How does it begin for you?
I always like it, and I always draw, but I never see that as a career. And I train as a journalist, and I worked 10 years in HSBC as head of communications. And when I married and I had my kids and we moved to England, I knew I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to work so many hours, and I started doing what I really enjoyed, that was the art. And I first did a lot of classes, what I had left some time ago. I pick it up, and then I train as an illustrator, and I did a master in illustration, in editorial illustration, and that's what I do. I draw for picture books for children and magazines, and it's so nice.
It's beautiful work, and it's nice to be able to do something, I guess, that you really enjoy, you know.
Yes.
Right, they all say if you do what you enjoy for a living, you don't really work, right? You just do what you enjoy.
It's true. Yeah? It's true. You really feel that you are enjoying it, and you put a lot of hours on it, and you work hard, but it is all rewarding. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
And when you start making art, and people really want your stuff on their book, how does that feel? The first time somebody says, I want you on the cover of a book, or I want you for this, how does that feel for you?
It's fantastic feeling. Yeah, it's fantastic feeling. I was in the summer working on the Beauty Boxes project here in Shrewsbury, and after being alone at home, without socializing, being sitting there and talking to everybody who had a nice word to say, it was so nice, so nice. Everybody has something nice to say about art.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so nice.
They always say art is relative to the person, is to the viewer, So some people might be like, oh, no. But there'll be somebody that will actually enjoy it. You can make anything. Scrump a piece of paper up, chuck it on the table, and somebody will enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? But your work is so, I'd say, universally beautiful. It's the kind of things that people just enjoy looking at,
Very kind. Thank you very much.
It really is. Do you have a niche? Because a lot of artists have a niche, a certain thing that they're very good at drawing, the one little thing that they're good at, or are you good at universally drawing?
In illustration, you have to adapt to what is requested, and I love animals and I love little kids. So I like the kids and this innocence of the children, and trying to tell a story in a little illustration. So I like to elaborate on that, and this is what I enjoy the most. And when I do something, I have to really like it. I can't do something that is not for me. So.
Oh, good. So you do what you enjoy and you make it well, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Is this your first time at Drawn? Did you come to the one in the summer?
It is the first time, yes.
And how are you finding it so far? Good? Enjoying it?
Fantastic. It's nice to see so many people, all ages, and everybody appreciating and liking everything what they see.
Making new artist friends as well? You meet new people?
Yes. I started to follow them, and now it's nice to see their faces in person and get to know each other. It's very nice.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much for chatting to me. I'd love for you to tell my listeners where they can find you on Instagram, social media, if they want to order something from you. Or
I am GiselaRobinson.com, and yes, I would love to hear from anybody. And I want to meet your wife. Yes, I'll give you my details after this, and
because she's always crying out for people to speak to in Spanish, because it's weird, because she doesn't get to speak Spanish, and people listen to us thinking, oh well, whatever, but it's her native tongue. It's
fantastic. You have to keep
on. Yeah. I learned to say a couple of things, silly things like "pa chuparse los dedos," which is finger licking good.
Great.
And estas moricas, silly little things. I can flirt a little bit in Spanish, but I'll give you your details. We'll get in touch. Thank you for chatting to me. Hello. Brilliant. After a great start. I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Hannah Chumbley, and I'm a local illustrator.
Local Shrewsbury?
Yeah, Shrewsbury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live just outside of Shrewsbury.
Amazing. And where does this all begin for you art-wise? Is this something that you pick up earlier in life or later on in life?
Early on, really. I did my degree in illustration and then went on to do a master's in illustration, and this is just built from there, really. This is a weird situation, because I come to interviews and I don't like to be rude when I'm speaking to the person I'm speaking to, so I don't want to be like looking at the art. Yeah, don't worry.
But I've just caught some of your art and it's truly really brilliant.
Thank you.
What should I say? And I know sometimes people compliments and stuff like make people weird, but genuinely brilliant.
Thank you.
So you want to become an artist, right? You do your degree, right? You step out into the big bad world. How does it begin for you? Do the jobs start coming in? Does the phone start ringing off the hook? Or have you got to really work to make a name for yourself?
No, it's been hard. It's slowly building up, I'd say.
Yeah.
Started off, whilst I was at uni, I did a lot of print making, and that's something that I really wanted to continue doing when I could after my degree, but found it quite difficult to find space or a print room and the facilities and stuff. So that I think that's why it's taken a little bit longer to find my feet as to how to work outside of that nice environment, a safe environment of a university with all the facilities and stuff.
So to develop your art a little bit further.
So it's taken a while to work out how to produce my work outside of that, but it's getting there now, I think.
It's been really interesting actually to speak to a lot of the artists here today, because when you talk about the art that you make for commissions, and the art that you can sell at a fair like today, the complete difference, right? Because here is you. This is you, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a bit different. There's It's two different sides to what I do. I do a lot of window art, Christmas windows for the shops around town, and murals as well, and that's something that has grown throughout.
What shops have you done? Is there something I might have seen?
Yeah, the Shrewsbury Coffee House's Christmas window, Callahan's Gallery's windows. Their Christmas window this year, that's done by me, and I've also, in the summer, I did a very big mural for Planet Donuts in their new bakery. So I feel like it's almost two different people. So it's lovely to come and share this side of the business at a fair like this.
Shrewsbury's so sexy. Every time we've just come to murals and amazing things about windows. You don't see that in towns that often, No. In some places, but Shrewsbury, I'm so proud of you, Shrewsbury. For
it's wonderful that everybody's embraced that, and people see it and think, oh, that would be something that would be really cool to have on my window, and that's something that snowballs. I did it for a friend and had a go at drawing on a window. That's how it started. I knew I had a connection with someone that had a shop, and it went from there. Posted it on Instagram, and off it went.
My brain just had a bit of a wobble, because when you're drawing on a window, you have to do it backwards?
I draw on the inside of the windows. So I will draw on the design, like face on, as you're looking at it from outside, and then flip the design and copy it.
So it's backwards.
Yeah,
so you don't have to guess.
No.
Can you imagine that?
That would be awful. I try and not do anything with text, because I don't think I could draw backwards.
This is a nightmare scenario of everybody watching you just fluff up this piece.
Yeah, it would.
On Callahan's window as well, so
Yeah, that would be awful. No, thankfully that was bauble, so it didn't really matter which way round they looked.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Fantastic. I love this, and mural. I'm trying to stop myself from not saying Muriel.
It's hard, isn't it? The more you say that word, the worse it gets.
I sat with Matt Sewell for about an hour for an interview, and I think I said Muriel about 4 times throughout the interview. He's burst out laughing every time I said it. So.
Oh, he's the best at them. I'm nowhere near that level, but yeah.
It is such a huge task to stand there and make this huge thing in front of people. And Gary Drew over there.
Yeah, they're amazing.
He sat there painting this amazing art with all these people walking around, and I'm like, how? And he says you just zone in.
Yeah, you do. Drawing on a window, I've got my face very close to the window, but I'm so concentrating on what I'm doing up close that I don't really notice what's going on outside the shop. So if someone waves at me...
the fire alarm is going off, you need to evacuate the building.
Yeah, something like that. But if someone waves at me through the window, I feel a bit rude, but I normally won't notice them.
It's a bit like me in a coffee shop, really. It's one of those things I love to do, is go and find a coffee shop and just disappear into my laptop working.
Yeah.
Just the hustle and bustle of people around me does something to me.
It's lovely background noise, isn't it?
And that's what makes Shrewsbury amazing. Is there any aspirations to move away from Shrewsbury to sort of concentrate on different forms of art, or you're okay here?
I'm happy here. I love that it's very close to. I can get out into nature quite easily. I love the countryside. I just like that. It's a very nice community feel around here, I think.
Yes.
And I will be sticking around for some time yet.
Oh, do you know what? Thank you so much for chatting to me, because I know it's not easy just to be microphone. Is this the second draw you did? Did you do the first one before?
I did the one in the summer as well, which was great. And this is the first fair that I've done here in Shrewsbury, so it's really lovely. It's really nice to come back and be part of it again. Nice event.
I was chatting with Tat about having someone sort of flick through your art and go no, yeah. How does that feel to have someone go just they're judging you instantly to your face, Yep.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's like it's you on paper almost. So it's when there's a little bit of fear when someone comes up to you, but I just like meeting people and saying hello, and it's just nice to see people face to face, really. It doesn't matter if they get something in the end.
Well, the work you do is amazing, and I'm genuinely blown away. There's so much to look at here. I'm just like, oh my god, look at this, oh my god, look at this. It's hard to focus.
Everyone here that's got a stall is wonderful. I want to go and get everything from everyone.
Where can people follow you? Social media or commission you?
Yeah, on Instagram they can see me at hannah.chumbley, or I've got my website, which is hannahchumbley at .co.uk.
I do that with my website all the time, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it is, but yeah, that's it.
Thanks for chatting to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
See that?
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Saffron Russell, and this is my stall.
Oh, I'll follow you on Instagram.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, I think I follow the biscuit.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
So, is this your first time at Drawn, or did you come to the one in summer?
I came to the one in the summer, so second drawn. Which is good, and I feel like I've expanded my stall a little bit this time. Because the first time I hadn't done a stall before.
Did I meet you at the?
I think
when
briefly.
we were setting up.
Yes,
in the evening.
we did.
There you go. That I was like, she seems familiar. How was that first time for you at Drawn?
It was a bit nerve-wracking at first because I had never sold stuff.
Wearing your heart on your sleeve, aren't you, or something like this?
Yeah, but this time I feel a bit more sort of confident.
Established. I am an artist, and I will make some money. You will enjoy my things.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Yeah.
Where does art begin for you? Is this a thing that you enjoy from a childhood, or is it something you pick up later on in life?
Definitely from childhood. My parents are kind of arty, so they of, got me into it from a young age.
Encouraged you.
Yes.
Encouraged you.
Which is great. And just freelance now. Don't have any official qualifications, but just been sort of...
How is that as a freelance though? Because it's kind of like, I could probably do this audio thing and be like, I can do this for you and I can do that for you and whatever, but then I wouldn't know how much I'm making month to month. Is that difficult?
It is difficult, yeah. It's probably the hardest part, is valuing your worth, I guess.
When someone's like, oh, how much do you want for the job? People have asked me that before about things. I'm like, well, usually I do stuff for free.
Yeah.
So what's your speciality? What do you like to make? Or is it just whatever people need from you?
It's a bit of both. I mean, for my stall and stuff, this is all stuff I enjoy making. So things that are quite, I'd say like whimsical, a lot of glowy things that are sort of cozy. And then stuff that I get commissioned to do is a bit more, I guess, depending on what they want. Like recently
all right, you want me to make that? Okay,
yeah.
That's fine. We'll do that then, yeah.
Pretty much. Like recently I don't know if you've seen the Drummer Boys in town on the banners in Shrewsbury.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, for the Christmas film, so those were ones I did.
Oh, wow.
So they're not necessarily things I'd maybe normally do, but they're quite fun.
But it's an amazing talent to be able to just look at something and draw it, because it is a superpower. I was talking with Tat and Cherie on a podcast a few weeks ago, and I was talking about how I met her at Participate, an open studio, and she just looked at this, she zoomed in on a tablet at this Robin Hood hat, went, okay, and then just drew it.
Yeah.
I was like, how can you? It's a superpower, right? It's definitely.
Tat and Cherie is so good though. I mean, their stuff is brilliant.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. So how are you doing today? Have you lots of interest in your stuff?
So far so good. Yeah. So I'm hoping that continues, which is nice. I sold an A3 print, which is the first one I've sold, so that was quite nice.
Nice.
It's nice. It's nice to sell the bigger things.
Is there anything you're working on at the moment, commission-wise? Is something that you're excited about?
Yeah, I'm currently with Lewis actually, who's here. We're working on a poetry pamphlet because he writes poems, and so I'm illustrating it. So that we're doing over should be in a few months, I guess. So that's like a little side passion project that we're working on, which is fun.
Illustrating poetry. I was just talking about that with Molly over there. You know, I was talking about how you can draw poetry. I know you'll have the words to go with it, but you read the words, you imagine what's going on there, and you put it onto paper. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And where can people follow you and commission you, more importantly?
Sure. So my website is saffronrussell.co.uk, or you can find me on Instagram at saffrussellart.
Yes.
So either one is good. And I do have an Etsy shop as well, so if anyone wants to discover that.
You are fantastic, and I wish you the best. And do you know what? We should organise a proper sit-down for a good hour, drink coffee, podcast. I think that'd be better than this. These little 5-minute vox pops, they're great. They have a purpose, but I can't really get inside there and have a real good chat. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds cool, yeah.
We'll make a plan for that.
Well, it was lovely to properly meet you this time.
Yes, properly, because last time I was kind of like, happy to do it, yep, and gone.
And I was a little bit shy, like, I'll hide behind my table.
I know, I did kind of come in here like a freight train. They're like, I am the biscuit guy. We'll be doing pictures and interviews, okay? And everybody's kind of like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
Thank you for chatting to me today.
No problem at all.
It's been lovely. Thank you. So I've managed to find Mike Perkins, and this is an interview that was supposed to happen last week, but COVID got in the way. I had a PCR test that was pending, and I didn't feel responsible enough doing interviews while you're waiting for that.
Right. Yeah, I did buy some biscuits especially, but
I know
I had to eat them, unfortunately.
I'm so gutted about that, you know. It's very special when somebody's like, I bought Shrewsbury Biscuits, or even biscuits. Matt Saul, who's across the way there, bought me biscuits.
Right.
Tat FB's just there. She made me some Shrewsbury Biscuits.
Oh,
with
nice.
Blackcurrant. They're legendary, these biscuits that she made now.
Well, the next time we do a proper interview, I have to up it and get my daughter to make some.
I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, it's always we're friends for life then. So I got to say, right, the first time we met in the house coffee, I got really overwhelmed after I met you, because it was such a nice thing, because when people recognise me from the show and stuff, it's always been weird, because I don't do this for any sort of vain reasons. I'm not the biscuit guy.
Right.
So it's always nice to meet someone, but never mind somebody who works with DC Comics and does the work that you do. So after you and Charlie left me at House Coffee, I was kind of like, oh.
Well, that's great. I mean, it makes it all worth it, right?
Yeah. So you've been in America for
20 years.
20 years.
20 years. We lived in Shrewsbury before then.
Yeah.
Just for a while. Then my wife got work at King Edward School in Birmingham, so we had to move.
Okay.
out. And we always, even though we'd lived there for 20 years, we were brought over to Tampa because there was a comic company over there, CrossGen, and they wanted everybody working in-house, which was a unique way of working. There were, at the highest point, there were 100 comic creators working in that building. It was fantastic. That all fell apart, and then Marvel stepped in, and I signed an exclusive with them. But in the back of our mind, it was always, we only went to Florida for 3 years just to make some contacts and all this kind of stuff. And and then 20 years later, we were still there. So it was kind of in the back of our minds to return at some point. And then a couple of years ago, we were over for the summer, and we went to Wales because I had to show my daughter rock pooling and all that kind of stuff. And we stopped back in Shrewsbury on the way over and met some of the comics collective which are here. There's quite a group here
in Shropshire, yes, for sure.
And so we kind of looked at each other and said, well, why don't we return back to Shrewsbury? There's a great artistic atmosphere here.
It is, and
there's lots of artists.
We're at Drawn Illustrative Fair today,
it's
and
fantastic.
this is what we get when you have so many talented people around you.
It's incredibly creative. It's an incredibly creative town.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. I'm grateful because it means I've always got something to talk to on the biscuit. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing better than getting up and taking a walk around inside an artist's head.
Yeah, which can be scary sometimes.
I imagine. Everybody differs, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've spoken to a few people that some people sort of hate deadlines, some people need the deadline because they procrastinate or something. What is it like for you working for a comic book? Do you need that deadline to make sure it gets done on time? Or
the thing is, I'm quick enough that I can draw monthly comics.
Yeah.
And so in my brain, the deadlines aren't there. I just know what they are because I draw a page per day, which, it's a A3 size. So I draw a page per day, and a comic is about 20 to 22 pages a month. So that's the month, So you finish a comic, and you're relieved that you finished it, and then
you go start again.
On to the next one. So it's pretty relentless, but it's always, you always tell yourself that that's what you always wanted, And I still get an enjoyment from it. You know, it's what I wanted to do since I was 2 years old, and I'm doing it.
I do wonder, because obviously this isn't my actual job. I do have an actual grown-up job that I do. But I was talking to someone earlier today, and I was saying, well, I'd love to get paid to actually do this. But then I think, would that take the magic away from it? You know, I do.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Sorry, go on.
No. That's what I mean. That's the point I was trying to get. Like.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I think a lot of it, because I primarily work for Marvel and DC, and because I'm working on monthly books, I don't have the time to do my own projects.
Yeah.
So I think that magic is still there, because there's still that nostalgia that you had for those characters when you were a kid, you know. And so you're drawing Swamp Thing, or you're drawing Batman.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and it's just you become an 8-year-old again, you know. And there's an enjoyment there.
It's not easy to get your own sort of franchise. Not everybody's Gerard Way and just be like, Umbrella Academy, you know. So, like, wait, have you tried starting your own sort of franchise?
Yeah. We, myself and Mike Carey, who did The Girl with All the Gifts, that came out a few years back. We've collaborated on numerous projects at Marvel and DC in 2000 AD. But also, I came up with my own ideas and collaborated with Mike on that stuff. We did a book called Rowan's Ruin, which was based in Stratford-upon-Avon. And it's a kind of ghost mystery murder thing. We did that about 4 years ago, and there was a lot of interest in it. But we've also got a prequel and a sequel in mind as well.
Yeah.
But just finding the time for both of us, because we're both incredibly busy. It's one of those things where we really want to do it. Nice. Just finding a time.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to have your own baby to work on and stuff like that.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's move on to sort of like Shrewsbury and this illustrator fair that we're going on now, because I want to save some of this amazing talk for when we actually sit down and have a proper chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Walking around here and seeing some of these young artists and things like that, what does that do to the mind of an actual, guy that's been there for a few years and done it themselves?
It's great. It's I haven't even had a chance to look around yet, but it looks fantastic. I mean, the way they're marketing themselves is wonderful.
Yes.
You know, they've got so much product on the stands, and it's great to see. It's great to see that this kind of event can go ahead.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And there's a lot of interest. I mean, there's a queue downstairs.
Really?
People like queuing up, waiting to come in, kind of getting drawn tickets and all this kind of stuff.
I've just been doing my lives on Instagram, obviously.
They're coming for you, obviously.
Yeah, I just want to see the biscuit guy, that's what it is. Well, I'm going to let you have a wander around and get a feel for the place. And I know you said you wanted to see Matt Sewell over there.
Oh, there's nobody there at the moment, so I'm going to steal her.
I know you, didn't I? You're the bird guy. I keep calling him the bird guy.
He's actually done some illustrations for my wife in books that we
Really?
ordered. When we're in Tampa, I ordered some books because my wife's big into nature and birds and all this kind of stuff. So I've always loved his work. So we actually did some illustrations in the books for my wife.
Oh, that's lovely.
And we've been in touch on email, so
make a connection across the ocean.
Yeah.
My good friend Eric Pfluger is in Florida. He's an artist. He's a good friend. He does he's famous for his artwork for Kevin Smith for Hollywood Babylon.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a good friend of mine, and I'm very privileged to know him. And he's Florida way, you know.
Excellent.
I always wonder if you guys all meet up in a room somewhere, like I'm an artist in Florida, You never know, do you?
That's the thing in Florida. You have to drive everywhere, so you don't get the chance for things like this.
Really?
This is nice because you can walk, you can, enjoy the town.
Yeah.
Florida, you have to drive everywhere, and there's no destination as such to go to.
No homely feeling, no community.
Right.
Okay, I see that.
Right.
I feel that.
And that was one of the reasons we moved back to Shrewsbury, for the community aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's working out. It's great.
Fantastic. I'm very pleased to see that, because I made friends with another artist. We could meet up and have some conversations. But no, welcome to the town. Welcome. And you did the thing with Shane last night, the drink and draw.
Yeah. The comic Salopia thing. That was great. It was 30 or 40 people. We each gave them themes on the 5 different tables, and then we went, and everybody had to do that theme per night, the 5 themes. And I went round each table and drew in front of them and spoke to them, and it was great. It was really enjoyable.
I'll definitely make sure I'm there for the next one.
Yeah.
I said to Shane, I'm so sorry. I had the Abbey thing last night, and I was already booked in, and I can only be in one place at one time, I'm afraid. There's lots of appeal there
I
for the
think
biscuit.
Charlie's doing the next one, I think, as the guest artist.
Oh, I'll definitely have to make it then. I've got a bit of a man crush on Charlie. I'm going to have to be there. Very popular. Mike, thanks for chatting to me. We'll do this again properly. We'll have a good hour-long sit-down chat,
for sure,
and we'll do this. And we'll delve more into your career.
Excellent.
And why on earth you won't come back to Shropshire? We all know why, because it's amazing.
It's gorgeous, that's why.
Thanks for chatting to me.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi.
I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zoe Needle, also known as Zoenso.
Oh, amazing. Where have you come from today? Are you local?
I'm based in Shrewsbury.
Oh, amazing. Fantastic. Shrewsbury's amazing for creativity, right? It's one of the things that I enjoy the most. When I go around and I do my thing, there's so many artists and authors and so many amazing people to speak to that create and make things. This fair here is just a testament to that, isn't it? There's so many amazing creators.
There is such a mix, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, young, old, guys, girls, it's kind of nice. I really do appreciate this. Being a guy who I can't draw, I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. You guys do what I can't, and I think that's what makes art so beautiful, right? Amazing. So when does this all start for you?
So I'm a printmaker. I actually trained a very long time ago, like 25 years ago. I trained in the print industry doing screen print. But actually, I don't do that screen print now. I'm a woodblock printer mainly.
Oh wow!
So everything's print based. Even my jewellery, it's used offcuts, recycled parts of my print. I make jewellery with. My main thing at the moment is a range called Seeds of Hope. It's all about the trees, and it's all hand woodblock printed bags, T-shirts, and cards.
It's such a huge thing now, isn't it? Art that sort of helps recycle and look after the planet or encourage.
And the very hands-on. I like the really hands-on, messy side, printmaking side of print.
Yeah. I love that, you can be walking around, I don't know, the woods or, Attingham Park or something, and you see something that inspires you to...
Well, this is what started it. A linden seed, which if you go to the quarry in Shrewsbury, it's a community thing. They used to plant lime trees or linden trees down walkways in cities. And I found this in a hedge, and I'd never seen one of these before. I didn't know what it was. It looked like a leaf, but it's a seed, and I got obsessed with it. And then that's when I started doing this range called Seeds of Hope.
Isn't it amazing? The amazing places, the most random places where we get inspiration from, right? I can't remember. It was a gig, a Ross Noble gig, that encouraged me to nickname this the Biscuit, because we were in Telford. And Ross Noble's this crazy Geordie comedian, and he's like, because we're in Telford, he's like, I'm going to start throwing Shrewsbury Biscuits at you in the crowd, and no one knew what a Shrewsbury Biscuit was.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, okay, there we go.
They're the ones with currants in. Yeah.
The world famous, the Shrewsbury cake, it was originally called. There's a plaque on Castle Street.
Yeah.
There's a great building, there's a plaque that says, this is the birthplace of the Shrewsbury cake.
Okay. I've not heard of the Shrewsbury cake, but I know the Shrewsbury biscuit.
Yeah, well, it was started as a Shrewsbury cake and then moved into a biscuit. There's loads of pictures of me pointing at this plaque going, look at it. I'm going to own that building one day. So you went from a screen. Did you say screen print?
I trained as a printmaker for textiles for the fashion industry, actually.
Okay.
So it was mainly screen based, but then I worked on paper designs and worked for freelance.
Okay.
But it's for the fashion industry, and I found it quite soul destroying because you basically do ranges of designs. They disappear, they sell, and then you never see where they go on the clothes because it's very secretive. You work as a designer, but you don't see where the designs go.
Okay.
So then I started working more as an artist.
You're giving away your babies, not seeing where they go.
But now I've worked more as an artist. I want to, I make it all and sell it all myself.
Is it a case of you're doing something that you actually enjoy?
I really love
art
it.
is better.
Yeah.
The symbiotic thing.
Yeah, it's all connected. Everything's all connected, yeah.
I love it. And I
also teach art. I'm not an art teacher, I'm a trained lecturer, so I now work in community.
You're a mentor.
I work in community arts mainly now.
That's
for
good.
the Hive and Designs in
fantastic.
Mind in North Shropshire.
wow.
I'm doing some work for them. So it's freelance community arts now. Which is lovely because it's really nice to give your skills away as well and really feel like you can help other people with
It's
skills.
creating a new generation of artists is what we desperately need, because I feel like when it comes to art, there's a lot of empathy involved there, right? So you're looking after the universe here and the community, the environment and stuff. When you can create a new artist that appreciates the world around them.
Yeah, but also people like yourselves, like you just said you can't draw, everybody's creative. and everyone's got creativity in them in different ways.
Yes.
You know, it's creative. You interviewing me, the creativity is in everyone, and just you have to find the pockets of where it is.
Yeah, and it comes from the most unbelievable places sometimes. You know, I'm a support worker. I work with vulnerable care leavers and stuff.
Okay.
And sometimes the most troubled minds will just come up with this most amazing poetry or draw this most amazing thing, and you're like, wow, you know, everybody does have that. And I'm a firm believer that everybody's got a talent.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that one thing they're good at, that they were born to do.
Everybody has. It's just finding it, isn't it?
Yeah. Giving yourself license to be a bit more silly, or be a bit more creative, or be a bit more elaborate, wearing your heart on your sleeve a bit more, and drawing a giant mural in front of people, you know.
Or having someone also to believe in you that you can do that as well.
Yeah.
Maybe with the kind of work that you do, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it goes hand in. Like, it's all about communication for me. Talking, I'm good at talking to people. There you go. It all works together. And you know, I found that because of my job, which has then gone on to help the podcast, which then goes to help my job. It's
kind of again, yours is all connected.
Yeah, this is the universe telling us something,
it's
isn't
going
it?
Around,
Thank you for chatting to me. Where can people find your work?
I'm Zoenso. Zoenso on Instagram, or Zoenso.co. I have a website.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for chatting to me.
Thank you.
See, it wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't that bad.
Hello. I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. What's your name?
I'm Katie from KTJ Illustration.
Nice to meet you, Katie. Is this your first time at Drawn?
No, so I did the fair back in the summer, selling my prints, and then I'm back for both days at Christmas.
How was the first one for you?
It was really good, yeah. It was the first time I'd sold any of my stuff, because I'm still in uni, so it was kind of me beta testing if there was a market for it.
Am I worthy? Am I worth it? You know, I've spoken to a couple of people as well that were at the first one, and it was such a daunting experience, but you're back here and you're doing your thing. What experience, right? To wear your heart on your sleeve. And I feel like I don't want to be in the way of you making any money here.
Don't worry. Don't worry, they'll come back if they like it.
So yeah, that first time was your first time trying to sell things at UN Fair. How did that go for you? How did it feel?
It was really good. It was really daunting, and like the build-up was terrible. But Cherie was great because obviously she's a pro at this, and she was really helpful. But Draw was really good for me because I was like in the middle of two really great artists, Zoe and Matt, who do it full time. So it was really great to talk to them and like get their feedback, and just kind of the general public and people, because my screen prints are quite. They're quite low priced because I do it through the uni, so I don't have to pay for the space. So it was really nice that some people were like, you're really underpricing yourself, and really positive feedback. It was great.
Oh, that's really good. And sometimes I think you've got to do a few of these, I guess, to sort of find your worth. What will people pay for your art? And it's a weird concept, isn't it? You know, kind of, how much am I worth? This thing that I've made, how much can I sell it for? It's a weird philosophy, isn't it? I mean, I'm the same. I don't, you know.
Definitely, and because you have lectures on pricing, and the tutors are like, yeah, go for it, and then you actually go to do it, and you're like, are you sure? Yeah. What's your influences then? Has this been a thing you've always done? Or is it like something that's come to you later in life? I've been asking this quite a lot today. Yeah, so I've always been interested in art, and then I studied fine art at A level, which was really great for me, and I got into the printmaking, and then as I went on to uni, the screen print really stuck. So that's what most of my work is, traditional screen print. I just really love the kind of tactile nature of it. Your work is fantastic. I love it, and I love meeting you guys because you guys do stuff that I can't. All right, you know, I can't do this sort of thing. So it's nice to get to meet you guys and see what makes you tick. You know, in a good way, not in a weird way. But yeah. So what do you do away from this? And are you looking for commissions? Do people pay you to do work? Have you got a job as an illustrator, or is this? That would be amazing if people would pay me to do it. My kind of goal is I'd like to be a print technician, so I'd like to be working in a print studio, hopefully teaching other people to do it. Like, everyone would love to work freelance, but I don't know if I'll get the opportunity. Like, it would be great, but yeah, teaching print would be what I'd love to do, kind of passing those traditional skills on. Passing on the torch, yeah. Look for some young Padawans to teach skills to. Well, I think you're fantastic, and I hope you make lots of money today, and people become aware of who you are, and you go on make a living out of this. Oh, thank you. Well, it's nice to meet you, Kate. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Hello. Hi. I'm Alex. I'm Liz. Hi, Liz. This is for the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Where have you come from today for drawing? Are you local? Have you come from far?
Yeah, I'm Shrewsbury based.
Yes.
Well, just outside, Basin Hill. So yeah, not far.
Yeah. And what is it you do? I mean, what is this that you've got for us today?
So I am Little Bird Editions, and I sell prints, cards, and books. I have an Etsy shop and social media presence.
Nice.
As Little Bird.
Nice. And where does this all begin for you? Where do you suddenly decide I'm going to make art and sell it to people?
Well, for me, I'm actually a writer.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's my. So I did English at uni, and then I did an MA in creative writing. Then I wrote a book, tried to sell it, didn't get anywhere. So I've written another book, and I'm just kind of pursuing that. But that's a lot longer journey, really.
Yeah.
So where did this start? This started with motherhood poems, actually. So I wrote some poems about motherhood, submitted them to a few places, and they said they're not really. They're good but not good enough. It's the feedback I got. I know. So I just wanted to put them out myself. So I did a little hand-lettered collection of motherhood poems, which I've got here. And then I made some of them into prints and just opened an Etsy shop. So I just started with about 6 prints I did. And then it just grew from there, really. So I've done it for about 2017, that was. So yeah.
In a weird way, I love this. I do, because with doing what I do, and with a lot of people as well, I'm not on my own, sometimes it feels like you're swimming upstream, right? You're working your hardest, you're putting your heart on your sleeve, and I will make something, and nobody will listen to it or watch it or see it. Then I'll make one thing, and people will love it. It's one of those things that you've constantly got to keep working at it. And now you've got this amazing table, this beautiful array of art that's come from that, and I like that.
It's weird. I definitely like having the balance between, this is fun, colourful, bright, and it's just nice when people buy stuff from my Etsy shop and then they tell me that they like my stuff. Whereas my writing is just such a longer journey.
It is, yeah.
And like you say, you can write something, spend years on it, and it never gets anywhere, and you're like, oh. So yeah, it's a difficult.
Have you got to have a different mode for a different thing? So have you got to be in a different sort of mode for writing and a different mode for making art? How does that work for you?
Well, this is going to sound really bad. I don't actually spend that much time making art. Like, I feel like the things that I make sure that I really like them. So I just do like 2 products a year, and I'm just adding to my shop slowly. So it's not all consuming for me. So, it ticks over. I just have, I don't have that many products. And then writing is, I guess, the thing that I chip away at as well. So during lockdown, the January one we just had, I just made myself do like an hour a day of writing, and in that way I wrote a book by April. So that was, it feels like a big thing, but if you break it down into tiny chunks, you can achieve it, can't you?
Yeah.
So
it's something I don't think I could do. I mean, it's legendary in the biscuit. One day, maybe I'll do it, I don't know, but I've got a synopsis for a book in my sock drawer that I'll just never write.
Yeah.
And I know people can just do it, but it's finding the time and motivating yourself as well.
Yeah, motivating yourself. Well, so last autumn, I think, I'm in this writing group, and 3 out of 4 of us have agents and have book deals, and I was just a bit like, if they can do it, I can do it. So it just, because I wrote this book 10 years ago, and I've been like, oh yeah, I want to get published, but I wasn't being that active in doing it, so I'm just like, I just need to write the next book. And they're like, just write a book, if it gets rejected, write the next one, if that gets rejected, write the next one. And it's just keeping going.
But this is the thing, right? This book idea I've got, I never want it to fail. If I was going to write it, I'd want movie deals, I'd want,
I know that feeling.
So I'd hate to write it and someone go, no.
It's not good enough. And it's so fickle, publishing, because it's like, they might get rejected because they've just published something similar, or it's not on trend, or it's just not commercial enough. And
imagine writing a vampire film or book just as Twilight was coming out,
Oh yeah.
That's either going to go one way or the other, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my God, we've got too many vampire things, or that fits in.
It's just not viable. Yeah. But things come round. My mentor, so I did a mentorship scheme this summer, and she said, all the stuff that you've written in the past, it will come round again. If you've got it there, it can get picked up again in maybe 5 years or. I don't know.
I watched this documentary on. This is going to sound like a weird thing, but Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Right, and they were talking about the script for Forrest Gump, how they would just flick through things and if the title grabs them, they would lift it up and be like, oh, let's have a look at that. Then they would read it. That's how, when it comes to scripts and things like that, how fickle, like you said, the world can be, and sometimes it's just a chance. Someone just going to pick it out of the box.
And so you have to, I listened to this podcast the other day, and they were saying in the creative arts, you have to make your landing pad for luck big. So the more stuff you have out there, the more likely you are to get lucky.
Scatter it out.
And it's like, great. So that's my next aim, is just to rewrite all the books that I've written in the past.
Amazing.
Keep doing them. So.
Amazing. I'm going to leave you to it, because I feel like I've just lost your customer there, probably. I'm really sorry. Thank you very much for chatting to me. Where can people find you?
So I'm Little Bird Editions. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Etsy.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for chatting to me. Cheers. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Alex.
I'm Asha.
I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Where have you come from today to come to Drawn? Are you local? Are you from afar?
Yeah, I'm local. I've moved to Shrewsbury 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And and before that I've just kind of been around. I'm a Russian born, and but I grew up in New York. So I'm just, I was actually born in China, so I've been around.
You've been around, you've seen the world, you really have.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you brought for us today for Drawn on your display here today?
Right, so today obviously I have a couple of Christmas cards, some stickers, wrapping paper, and then I'm also launching a clothing range, not a range, it's a capsule collection.
Yes.
It's screen printed t-shirts and tote bags with the
I love this.
The marketplace.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love it as well. And I think it's kind of, I like the modern twist to it because, everybody takes pictures on their smartphones.
They always say the most simple ideas are the hardest ones to find, and that is that is the epitome of that, because it's somebody with a phone, like you said, modern, taking a picture of these beautiful old buildings.
Thank
I love
you.
it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's very cool. So I was thinking of just doing that, but with different places around Shrewsbury, and then have like a range. So that's the beginning of it.
I love what you do. I think it's fantastic. Where does this start for you, though? The art. Is this something you've always done, or?
Well, I come from a long line of people in my family who draw and do design. Like my brother's an art director at BBDO, and he has been for the longest time. My dad draws all the time, and he's a big talent.
It's in your blood. It's built in.
Yeah. And my grandmother had like exhibition. Well, she died unfortunately because she was 98. I was always drawing, but this I don't know, like 3 years ago, I just kind of decided that this is the path for me now.
It's a leap of faith, and this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
And I always think about this with the biscuit and the podcast that I do. Some people say, oh, you've got to quit your job and focus on this, then it'll all happen for you. But I'm too scared to do that. I could never do that.
Yeah.
Is it a case that you need to have a singular focus? When it comes to your art, this is what you're doing now, or do you do lots of different things?
No, I'm doing lots of different things at the moment because I'm still, I'm also a film editor, because in my previous life I used to direct and produce advertising ads, TV ads, and so
not an easy job, I imagine.
No, very stressful. And then when you have kids, you sort of everything just falls into place, and your priorities change like to the extreme. And so you don't care that much about advertising suddenly because you have a teeny tiny toddler to keep alive every day. And then when we moved to Shrewsbury, I couldn't produce anymore. I couldn't shoot as much as I used to. So I just turned to this. But I still film here and there and do editing as well.
I do. I look at like adverts and the advertisement world and stuff, and I feel like it's such a difficult universe to be in, I imagine, because you've got to grab someone's attention for such a short space, it's not easy, especially when there's so much noise out there. Do you know what I mean? I imagine the stress is like, is it worth it? Is it worth me putting through all this stress? I would rather spend time with my family and do something I enjoy.
Yeah, well, no, not anymore. Not for me, anyway. Yeah. I don't think that. Well, I can fit this. I can fit illustration, and I can fit film editing, and an occasional shoot here and there around the kids and around the schools and pickups and stuff like that. Whereas, the ad business and the film business in general, it's just such a crazy whirlwind all the time that you just have to be on 24/7.
Yeah.
And that's just not compatible with a family life.
And one of the things I've been speaking about with a lot of the artists here today is the things that people put on their table is them. This is them, right? Rather than stuff they've been commissioned for, things they've been paid to do. So you're very much like wearing your heart on your sleeve. This is me. This is my expression. What's that been like today to show that to people?
Very intimidating because, it started out slow. It's picking up now, but it started out slow, and then obviously you have the self-doubt kicks in instantly, and you think, well, that's it. Like I'm trash.
I'm trash.
But
you're
this
not.
Is
you're really not.
Or I overpriced. Because that's the other thing. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to price it the way I feel it should be priced. But then you think, well, nobody's buying it. Oh my God, nobody's buying it. Is it because I'm crap, or is it because I charged too much for my, card or whatever? The doubt is just constant. Anxiety always there, just under the surface.
The torture of an artist. I've got so many friends that are artists, and I do feel for them. I mean, I get a little bit of it because I'll start a project. I'll be like, oh, we're going to make this series of this.
Yeah.
And then I'll get bored of it, or there'll be something that'll distract me, or, it'll just drive itself into the ground or something. Yeah. And I get that, but when it comes to like something like this, that you put a lot of time into and a lot of effort, and, you do very much wear your heart on your sleeve and take that leap of faith. It can't be easy, but I need to reassure you that I definitely can't make stuff like this, and there's a lot of people that can't. So you have a superpower, So you're doing an amazing thing, and
that's really nice to hear. Thank you.
No, it's genuine though, because it is a superpower, and I'm so jealous of most of you guys because I can't do that. I was talking about Tat over there. One of the first times I met her was at Participate. It was an open art studio gallery thing, and I sat with her on the same table, and I always remember she zoomed in on her iPad to look at a Robin Hood hat.
Right.
She looked at it, glanced at it, and then drew it.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, that's not fair.
Yeah. No, it does. It does feel like, well, it doesn't feel like a superpower, but it does definitely feels like something. Like a talent, but like a skill, you know. Yeah. And also, I don't know about anybody else, but with me, it's like I need to see the image of what I'm gonna draw in my head before I actually do it. But like a very clear image.
Study it.
Yeah, and I study it, and I usually what happens is I go to sleep and thinking about the idea that I want to have, or like the idea or the thing that I'm going, and then in the morning I wake up and I have it.
That is really, very interesting.
I don't know if people have that, but that's what happens to me. Like I need to fall asleep thinking about so I'm going to be doing the cover for my Shrewsbury magazine.
Oh, amazing!
And that's coming out in the March-April issue.
I love Katie for what she does for local artists. She's fantastic.
So I'm like working on sketches at the moment and stuff like that. So and because I didn't start with that going to sleep thinking about it, I'm now struggling. So I need to do.
That's your method. That's your process, and that is fascinating because I always imagine art as this like snapshot of, right, got it. But you're really thinking about it, and that's the way it happens process,
with me. I don't know. It's interesting. It was an interesting discovery as well, because I didn't think that was going to happen like that. That was kind of just something that just kind of happened, and I was like, oh right, okay, so that's how I do that. Oh right, okay, well I'll just do that then.
Amazing.
It's very interesting.
Well, I'm very jealous of your talents.
Thank you.
And the stuff you're trying to. I love this. This tote bag is one of the best things I've seen today. So
it's very cool.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for chatting to me. See,
Thank
it wasn't that bad.
No.
Where can people find you if they want to commission you for something, or if they want to buy stuff off you?
You can find me on Instagram, just Asija Vesty, and it's a weird spelling. It's Asija Vesty. And also my website, asijavesty.com, and it's got all my contacts and emails and everything.
Amazing. Thank you for chatting to me today.
Thank you.
Brilliant, thanks. Right then, so I've had a quick sit down. I went for some lunch after speaking to so many brilliant artists today. It sort of wipes you out a little bit, but gotta say, the pate from from Stop Cafe is fantastic. I love it. Every time I'm here, I have it. So yeah, I thought I'd just paint the picture for you guys that didn't attend Drawn today, just to, what it looked like, what it felt like. We're upstairs in the museum, and there has been a steady stream. It's kind of quieting down a bit now because it's kind of dying out time now for town, switching into night mode slowly. But yeah, there's been a steady stream of people walking through the doors. I've seen lots of people buying goods and wares from local artists, lots of chatting. I've been sat by Gary Drew, who you heard at the beginning of this podcast. I've been sat next to him most of the day. And there's been loads and loads of people just come and talk to him about his art and his techniques, and he's had lots of funny stories to tell. I've seen a lot of, sort of Cherie's been walking up and down doing her bit. It's been really nice. The atmosphere is lovely. It's a nice warm room, and the atmosphere is just really nice. It's friendly. That's the correct word for it. Hello. And people just, willingly come up to you and talk to you, which is really nice. And I made some new friends today, which is great. I'm going to be doing the competition in a bit, which is daunting because all eyes will be on me. And yeah. If I could just interject, Alex, thanks for that. I left that bit in. I know you're getting fed up in my voice, but I left that bit in because I think it was a really good summary of the event. Actually, it was a nice rundown of what I'd seen and the people I'd met. But yeah, I'm going to do an official monologue thing, and I love my monologues. I want to say again, huge thank you to Cherie, Gerard, and to Tat FB for inviting me to Drawn. It was an amazing experience. I learned an awful lot, and that's one of the most valuable things about things like this. It's not about me and about my podcast. It's about what I've learned, about the conversations I've had and the friends I've made and the networking I've done, and because ultimately it goes on to do great things. My job is to promote the amazing things that Shrewsbury does, and this event was full of amazing people located in and around Shrewsbury, creating local amazing art. So, absolute privilege. I did mention this at the beginning, but please, all the artists mentioned in all of the podcasts surrounding Drawn, please give them a subscribe on social media, follow them and support them, because these guys are the bread and butter of local independent art. If I could ask you guys a huge favour too, I would love to hear what you guys think of the Shrewsbury Biscuit and episodes in particular. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening to us on Podbean, Spotify, wherever you're listening, there's always tends to be an option to leave a comment or a review or some way I can sort of gauge whether I'm doing the right thing or not, whether I can change things up, whether you enjoy a certain aspect of things or whatever. Let me know what you think about what we're doing. It really does help, goes a long way. Please check out our website, which is www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. All of our content is available on there, and it's playable directly off the website, just in case you're not into using different apps and players. I know some people prefer that. And also, I've got to remind you, Spotify, some people are scared of Spotify. You can actually use Spotify for free and listen to podcasts for free. It's only when you want to listen to music and specific types of music, that's when you have to pay, and that's when you get ad free. But to listen to a podcast, it's free. Thank you to everyone that's listened to this. Thank you to everybody that spoke to me. And I'll catch you guys for day 2 at Drawn. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Peace out.